Hey everyone, this is Katie from eOne Solutions. I'm excited to welcome you to our Q2 Partner All Hands call. I know you're all very busy people, so we appreciate you taking some time out of your day to join us and learn live about some of the things that are happening at eOne. We have got a great agenda for you, and we appreciate everything you're doing with us. So the content that we've selected for today is really to give you an inside look as a partner. We've had a lot happen over the last couple months. AI is moving very quickly, and eOne's roadmap, we're working hard on that to deliver really good functionality so that you as a partner can say yes to more scenarios. So what we're going to cover here today, we're starting out with roadmap updates. There's a lot that we're bringing in and introducing to you over the next couple months and have released in the last couple months. So we'll cover all of that today. One of the things that you may have seen on our site is that we're releasing a new generation of SmartConnect, completely rebuilt from the ground up and modernized. So Ethan Sorensen, our VP of Product, will be giving us an overview of that. Then we'll turn it over to Martin. Martin's going to go over PopdockAI availability and pricing today. We've introduced PopdockAI over the last 6 months. We've been working and partnering with you. We are very interested to partner with you on more scenarios, and he's going to go over what the pricing looks like for early access. And then we're going to cover some of the top use cases that are resonating. And so Peter McIntyre is joining us to cover some of the PopdockAI scenarios that relate to ERP and CRM scenarios. So thanks again for joining today. We're going to dive right into it. Before I pass it over to Ethan, I do want to share a few updates from a team perspective. Your team is growing. I'm excited to introduce to you Luke Steckler. You've worked with our partner sales team. Every partner at eOne that partners with eOne has a partner development manager as their main point of contact. And Luke is joining to lead our partner sales efforts. Some of you may already know Luke because Luke worked at eOne 6 or 7 years ago, and so we're excited to have him back. He's very familiar with the Dynamics ecosystem, with ERP, and he's got some great experience that I think is going to help our partners grow their offering with eOne. So really excited to introduce you to Luke, and he'll be getting to know a lot of you. The next group I want to introduce to you are some of our new services team members. We've expanded our European services team with Andras joining us. Tara has joined our team from a data blend services perspective. Last year, we talked about our eOne's data blend acquisition, and we're really bringing our teams together this year. But we found that we need to grow capacity. And so both Michael, Tara, and Andras have joined us on the consulting side. And then the last group I want to introduce to you, we've got a couple team members here from a few different perspectives. Michael Mooney has joined us, and he is really focused on business development. He's coming in with some great Workday, ADP experience, ERP experience, and so a lot of you will meet Mike in the coming months, and he'll be an extension working with our sales teams. Gabriel has joined our security and compliance team. As you've seen, we are focusing a lot on how we can help you deliver more AI solutions. And with that comes more things we want to cover and make sure are really done well from a security and compliance perspective. So he's joined our security and compliance team. And then lastly, Cody. Cody has joined our support team. He's not pictured here, but he's a very smart guy. And I am sure you'll all work with him as well. So those are some of the new team members. So with that, what I would like to do is I'd like to pass it over to Ethan Sorensen. Ethan Sorensen, he's our VP of Product Management. He oversees our roadmap across teams at this point, and he's going to give us a look at what we're doing with SmartConnect.
Thanks, Katie. I want to take some time today to talk about what we've been doing with SmartConnect over the last 12 months and what that means for you as our partners. SmartConnect's been around for 15 years, over 15 years now. And in that time, our partners and customers have built more than we could have ever imagined. They've integrated billions of records. They've done so much on the platform. But when we took a step back and looked at where we were at, we'd reached the ceiling of what was possible with the current platform. The bones and the ideas that were built on were good and sound, but there were limits to what we could do to meet the needs of our customers in the world of tomorrow. So the old SmartConnect, it was built for a different era. It was built for on-premise. It worked really well for single servers. It had a lot of dependencies in Windows components, things that didn't translate as well to a cloud-hosted environment. And we'd stretched it to meet the needs of the world, but it was falling behind with every release that we had. So you felt the limits, you felt the integration's a little bit slow, you felt that the logging was a little bit limited, security model was oversimplified, and we're improving on all of that to really allow it to grow and stretch to meet the needs of our customers. So it's been completely rebuilt from the ground up. We simplified the database heavily. We improved and split out logging so that as integrations process hundreds of thousands of records across hundreds of different clients on a single server, that's not going to impact anyone else. And it's also going to allow us to efficiently maintain your full history and your customer's full history on that server. So this is going to be really powerful, and it's going to give us a lot of capabilities going into the future to understand what's happening and support the needs of the customers, especially as we have larger and larger customers with more complex integration needs, be able to scale with them. The big one that you'll notice on day one is that we've completely redesigned the UI. This is to meet the brand guidelines of eOne, which we'd never really fully adopted in the SmartConnect tool. It's going to match the user experience of PopDoc as closely as we could. There's some nuances of different tools have different functionalities and different needs, but it's going to have a cohesive experience. So you're going to really feel like you're in an eOne branded tool, no matter if it's PopDoc or SmartConnect. This is also going to give us a lot of new controls, visualizations, and options that we can use to allow you to do a lot more with it, as well as having standardization across the board. So we had some screens and connectors that had branched out, kind of done their own thing, standardizing all of that so you have one look, one feel. If you go to create a connector, it's going to feel the same as it would with any other connector that you chose. And then a big one for me personally is the enterprise security and lifecycle management. So basically adding in that layer of trust that we never could have in the platform. Back when I started in support here at eOne, one of the first things that I asked was, how do I get back the integration that I deleted? And then the first thing that a customer asked me was, who deleted what was in my environment? And this understanding of who did what, where do I point the finger, how do I get back to what was working before? We're looking to solve that here with the new version. So everything that happens in the system is going to be audited. So we're going to track any modifications to a connector, to a data source, to an integration. If you delete the record, we'll put that into a new environment where you can go and look at anything that's been deleted by anyone. So this is going to give that confidence in what's happening, which is going to be crucial for some of the features that we have coming out later this year. We have been focused on AI. We know that your clients are asking you to do more than you've ever done before. We know that budgets are tight and that customers want to be able to deploy and maintain their integrations faster than they ever have before. We know that our partners have been working with AI tools to see how it can accelerate what they're doing with their clients, and SmartConnect is going to fit really nicely in the story. So we have some features coming out throughout the year, but really the goal is being able to work with your chosen AI tool and say, I want to build an integration from this spec sheet, and it will go off, call SmartConnect, and build the framework of everything that you need, all of the integrations, the mappings, the tasks, the email templates, whatever it is that you need. And then you as a consultant can go in and configure what you need after the fact. We don't want you to be manually naming an integration and linking it and hitting drop downs and mapping fields. All of this we should automate as much as we can. So there's a lot of AI tools out there, and we're going to add multiple ways that you can bring AI into your SmartConnect development workflow. So we're really excited about what that's going to come to be. But the reason that this was so important on the last slide is that auditability. So everything that AI does in your environment will also be audited so that you can have that understanding of what changed, who changed it, did they do it manually, did they use AI to do it, what impact that had on the integration runs, and all of that data is going to exist in the system, which is going to give you the confidence abilities to grow as needed using AI tools. So we'll go into this more when it gets closer to release. I'm extremely excited for what this is going to do, especially when it comes to taking your integration projects and reducing the amount of time it takes so that you'll be able to deliver integrations quicker and also reduce the cost for your customers for implementing integrations built on SmartConnect. So what I want to do is jump into SmartConnect. So here I am on the SmartConnect dashboard. This is just the first generation that we're going to have today. This dashboard is going to turn into more of a BI experience where you're able to see what integrations have been running, performance, average error counts, record counts, anything that you need to know. So we want this to be really that eagle-eye vision of everything happening in SmartConnect. So we have a lot of really cool things coming in here. But for now, it just allows me to get an idea of what's been happening at a high level in my integrations, but then I can drill down and look at them in more detail. What I want to do is take a look very quickly at an integration mapping. So if I look at this one here, it's going to feel similar to the existing version. We've just simplified navigation and provided a better overview of what's going on. So things like the counts of how many records there are in different sections of it. I can drill in, do my mapping, do my interface, and working with more data on the screen at the same time. Less scrolling, less jumping around to screens, and more vision into what's happening in a particular integration. If I run the integration, so I'm going to exit this and just go to the integrations tab and run it. So in here, I can see the progress and I can see how I ran it. So this is the one that I just ran manually and it hasn't progressed at all yet, but I can also see scheduled runs. I could see runs from anyone else. I could see runs from an MCP server, runs from the API, runs from a real-time webhook. All of it's going to show in real time here. So you finally are able to monitor all things happening in the system, not just the things that you ran manually. So this is going to be huge going into the future, and having that snapshot, that capability to see it, but also to cancel a long-running schedule or a long-running integration that someone else executed is really going to be about control and comfort and confidence in the system. If I go back to the integration screen, the last thing I wanted to touch on was the audit logs. So every integration is going to have the audit log, which we can look at here, showing everything that was changed and by who. So I understand the connector was changed, what company it's pointed to was changed, which route it was using. I can see all of these updates and get an understanding of what happened, but we can also export them all to a JSON, and then you can put that into Claude, ChatGPT, and start to ask questions about the history of an integration. So over time, you might have let's say 20 of these audit logs. You don't need to pick through them. You can load those right up into AI and say, when did this change and help me with this, or take that export and share it with support. This is going to be really powerful for building out on the platform and doing more in the AI world. So I'm really excited for what this means for you, our customers and partners. This is just a simple teaser. We're going to have a ton of content rolled out. I've been working really closely with our marketing team on trying to get as much resources and information available to our partners as possible. We will be running a webinar on the 24th, which will do a deep dive into the platform and what it is. But for now, I'm going to pass it off to Martin to talk a little bit about PopdockAI.
Thank you, Ethan. And thanks for everybody for joining. Just doubling down on Ethan's message there. Integration is as important now as it has ever been. We know that every business that you work with, all your customers have 10, 15, 20 and more systems, and they need to be kept in sync. So really excited about the massive changes. And Ethan was very honest that SmartConnect had aged, and we're excited for you that we were able to make it better. So all your existing customers will benefit from that, and all your new customers as well. That integration also kicks in really importantly when we get to AI. So for those that haven't yet been exposed to PopdockAI, it really is connected to your business systems. PopdockAI gives you Google for your business. And that Google summary that is the AI summary. It lets you apply all of that functionality to everything that's running inside your business. The big question for you when you're talking to your customers is who's going to be responsible if AI gets something wrong? Who's going to be responsible if the wrong data from systems is presented to AI, which comes up with the wrong information? And that's a real question that every one of your CFOs or CTOs are going to be asking. And for me, that's why PopdockAI exists, to be that layer that ensures that only the right data ends up in AI, and that it is completely secure. Only the right people get to see it. Only the right agents get to see it and get to action that data and action on your business data. So that's absolutely the key thing here for PopdockAI. So this website, let me turn my camera off for a second. This website here, I want you to get familiar with, which is www.popdock.ai. Now we've built it as a separate site, and that's because we think this has an impact to not just your ERP customers, but to every other application your business use or your customers use. And so that's why we've built this site. Spend some time on this site. There's some really good content in here that the guys have put together. Search through it. Security is the one I was talking about. Absolutely important to go and explore the security offerings inside PopDoc. Now, importantly, the pricing. We think just about everybody is going to fall into this business tier. You'll notice here we've allocated 50,000 tasks per month for $950. That means you can run 50,000 actions through PopDoc and through PopdockAI every given month. We think that will work for a team of up to 50 people running a lot of workflows and a lot of AI processes. Now, if you end up in professional, congratulations, you're up to 500,000 tasks a month. And that's really, really heavy use of the AI solution, but most people will land here. Our starter pack, that's really for getting started, tiny teams, proof of concepts where people will begin and be able to play out their AI role. Now, importantly, every function of PopDoc comes inside this bundle. So not only are you getting PopdockAI, you get every PopDoc piece of functionality, every list building, all the historical data access, the data lake functionality, absolutely everything comes inside these bundles. Plus you get all of the user in the tasks, the 50,000 tasks. Now, on top of that, we're not limiting functionality across these different tiers. So every tier gets unlimited connectors. Now we're doing that because we know that, I'm pitching that this is AI is most valuable when you have access to all of your systems. And so we don't want to say, hey, you just get 3 different systems or you just get 4. We want you to have absolutely every app your business runs. Say yes, and it's bundled into this package. There are no user caps. We want you to use it as much as you can. We don't want people to start throttling down AI. We work with absolutely any AI front end. So whether that's an LLM, whether like Claude or Copilot or ChatGPT, whether that's an agent, whether that's a local LLM you run, we're not going to limit you as to what you use. Now, that's important for when your client decides to change AI tools. Let's say they start with Claude, and then in 2 months' time, things have changed. AI is moving so fast, they decide they need to go back to Copilot, and they want to use Copilot. For us, we add the middleware that nothing is built specifically for an LLM. So your customers you can say confidently tell them, yep, you can flip to any tool you like as AI changes. You're not locked in. Critically, 7 layers of security, which we talked about. And if we go and take a look at security, this is critical. Go and spend some time here. And you can read here about all the layers of security that will ensure that only the right people get access to the data. Now, if we go back to pricing quickly, this is the pricing for net new customers. So if you've got a net new prospect that doesn't own PopDoc now, this is where they will start. Now, talk to your PDMs, because even at these pricing, which is public, we're bringing on early adopters, and we want them using the tool. So if you've got a really good use case and a customer, come talk to us, and I'm sure we'll come up with a really good price for you to start. Now, for existing PopDoc customers, we are going to come out with a better price, a beneficial discount price to make sure that they have access to all this AI functionality. We're still talking to a few partners and bouncing ideas on that pricing off our partners. So we want to learn from you. And so I'm not announcing that today, but talk to your PDMs again if you've got an existing customer. Now, one of the critical things here is your GP base. PopdockAI will work for everybody inside your GP base. So if you think these numbers are expensive, $1,000 a month or $950 a month, it's nowhere near as expensive as converting your ERP to a new one. So if your customers are still on GP and love it, but want AI functionality, PopdockAI exposes all of that data to an AI experience. So it means your existing customers can stay where they are. We know GP is still supported, it's not going away. And so you can bring everybody along with them for that. So a significantly better way than saying, hey, your only option to get AI is to go and change your ERP completely. That's it. We work across all platforms. So whether that's NetSuite, Intact, Microsoft, and every other business app that people use. We've got 200 apps available now. So when we say unlimited connectors, there's 200 there now. It won't be long, we'll be 500, and we're going to keep adding. And if we've got a system that we don't connect to, let us know and we will add it in there. So the whole pricing here is built so you can say yes to a customer. Can I connect to? Yes. Can I use whatever AI tool I want? Yes, you can. Do I have as many tasks as I could possibly use? And 50,000 is going to be yes for just about everybody, everybody's customer on this call. Do I get complete security? Yes. So it's all about letting you say yes. So really excited to bring this to you. We will get back to you with existing customer pricing, significantly discounted, and we'll make it easy for people to get to an AI solution. And that's really what I had to say today. If you've got questions on that, certainly pop them in here, or most of you know how to get hold of me. So message me directly. I'd love to have a chat about AI, your practice, and your customers. Handing back, Katie, to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Martin. Okay. What we're going to do next here is we're going to transition. We've taken a look at PopdockAI pricing. Next, Peter McIntyre is joining us, and he is going to take us through a couple use cases, scenarios that that have been beneficial for customers he's worked with, and he is joining from our pre-sales consulting team.
Hey everyone, yeah, so we're gonna take a look at a couple different use cases using PopdockAI here. The first one here, building financial statements with Claude in Microsoft Excel, leveraging the PopDoc MCP server to do this. So as you can see in Excel, we're going to leverage the Claude plugin here. And kind of behind the scenes, PopDoc is connected to this via, you may have seen in the menu there, there's a connectors button. Essentially, all of your connectors in PopDoc are available here. And I'm just running a simple skill here. You can see financial statements generator, and just typed in Q1 2026 just to give it some date parameters. And essentially what that skill is doing is looking to the PopDoc MCP server for specific tools around generating financial statements. And in this scenario, we're connected to our ERP, which really could be any ERP. PopDoc can connect to many. In this instance, we're connected to Sage Intacct. But this could be Business Central, Dynamics 365, NetSuite, whatever it may be. And you can see very quickly here, kind of from scratch, the AI is building these financial reports for us right in Excel. And you can see below, it's creating them in separate tabs. We get an income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow statement. And what's neat about this, we're actually only pulling transactional data and trial balance data, which can easily enough create an income statement and balance sheet report. The cash flow statement is fully getting calculated and created by the AI itself. It's looking to what we pulled in from our ERP. It's looking at what it created for an income statement and balance sheet and is completely calculating this cash flow statement for us here. It also provides this executive summary, which you can see gives us things like metrics that it points out, key observations. It checks tie outs, making sure that balance sheets balance and net income fits in. And then it gives us notes on data coverage and limitations as well. So it's really very thorough. Not only is it just creating these statements for us, it's providing analysis and details on the data it pulled in and what it created for us in Excel here. So very powerful. Obviously, it's connected to not only PopDoc, but it's connected to Excel. So its ability to read and write data all at once, is a very powerful tool. And really, all we're doing here is just now formatting the columns to make it wider. Obviously, that's easy to do, but the AI did the heavy lifting for us here. So the second use case, Salesforce Intacct sales orders. So this one's going to be a multi-step process. And we're going to be doing this right from within Claude itself. And again, I will mention, we're using Claude. This can be connected to any AI agent, as Martin mentioned, even, custom ones, as long as they can support an MCP server, PopDoc can connect to it. So here is Claude, and similar to what we just looked at in Excel, we're not using the Claude plugin, we're just using the Claude app here. And what we're going to be doing in this scenario is using a pre-built set of prompts. from this drop down in the connectors, you can see we have a Salesforce to Intact sales orders pre-built prompt. It even gives you the ability to enter in some filters. So if you want a specific owner name or opportunity name in this example, you can enter those. For this demo, we're gonna pull everything, so we're just leaving those blank. And you can see it populates this TXT file. Now this is what it looks like. This was all pre-written in PopDoc. And really what this is a set of steps we're telling it that we want to take, leveraging again those tools that we've built in PopDoc as well to connect our CRM and our ERP. Again, we're using Salesforce and Intact, but this could be any CRM, this could be any ERP. This is just to give you an idea of what the capabilities are. So yeah, this has a few different steps that we'll run through. And the first thing we're going to do is pull all of our closed won opportunities from last month. So we're specifying, when do we want to pull these from, and basically what type of opportunities we want to pull. So we're kind of filtering the data just by using that simple context there. So here's what it comes back with. It shows you 7 are complete, 1 needs attention. So we're going to focus on the one that needs attention. And it asks us directly, how do you want to resolve the missing contact on this Bob's Burgers opportunity? We can draft an email to the opportunity owner, which is what we chose here. And then Claude will simply do just that. It's going to draft an email that we can easily send off to the opportunity owner. We can even open it in our mail app right from here, or even via Gmail right from here as well. Gives you all the details in the email message as to what it found and what needs to be done to resolve this. So it continues to ask us questions because, again, in that pre-built prompt, we have kind of those steps that we want it to take. We're just going to say, let's assign a contact for the Bob's Burgers opportunity ourselves right now, even though we sent it, we want to send this email off to the opportunity owner. Just to show off the capabilities, we can actually even set up tools inside of PopDoc that allow us to just create the opportunity contacts right from within here. So you can see we are assigning contact Jack Rogers, and it's done. Jack Rogers has been successfully assigned as the contact on the Bob's Burgers new burger joint in Salesforce. So because of that, now all 8 of our opportunities have a contact assigned, which is good. We know that the data is clean and valid. So now we are pulling quotes out, and the goal here is to make sure that the quotes align with the opportunity data. And you can see, again, Bob's Burgers does have a variance here, 20,000 versus 25,000. Again, you get the ability to draft an email if you want to send this off to the opportunity owner to fix. Gives you a summary of the findings as well. Tells you, what the amounts are and what's different. We can also say, let's just update the opportunity ourselves right from here, which is what we're going to do. Again, we have the tools built out to do this. And in this scenario, we're updating a line item so that the opportunity updates to the 25,000 that we saw in the quote. So now everything matches. We have 3 sales orders ready for creation. It tells us what the names of those are. Bob's Burgers is now included in that list. And it's asking, would you like to go ahead and create the sales orders in Sage Intacct for the 3 validated opportunities? We say yes. So now what it's doing, it's pulling data out of Intacct, customer data to match based on Salesforce account names. So in order to actually create this, we need kind of those internal codes in Intacct. And the AI is able to do these lookups kind of on the fly and just based on the account names, assign the correct customer name in Intacct that we need to create it for. So everything looks good. We're just telling it, yes, go ahead. and it's just going through the motions here, and it's drafting emails for us to tell us what got created to those owners right here. So 2 emails drafted, one for myself as an opportunity owner in this instance, and Adam Kazarin as the other. And just gives us a full recap of what was created, 3 different sales orders down below. And as easy as that. So great use case for not only being able to pull data, just out of somewhere and pushing it in, but actually doing those data checks along the way, making sure that things line up, making sure you're not sending bad data in. So, and just being able to do it all right from within the chat window is a very useful way to go through these types of things. So that's pretty much everything we had to show on these 2. Hopefully gives you an idea of what can be done with PopdockAI. There's a lot of different scenarios that can be done as well, but hopefully this just gives you a taste. I guess I will hand it off back to you, Katie.
Awesome, thank you. So some fun use cases there. Being able to use, really run some different use cases, but PopDoc is that layer that was serving up the data and allowed Peter to use tools that run actions to do things that send data back to the system or take advantage of some other process. And then also those prompt templates are pretty cool that you can create in PopDoc and then scale out to other users, which is, that's a big challenge with AI. So what we want to transition to next, we want to talk about some of the ways you can connect with eOne at upcoming conferences and events and get deeper on the products from a data blend perspective, as well as with PopdockAI and really bringing your scenarios forward. So these are some of the conferences that we will be investing in the fall. This isn't a full list, but we'll be at quite a few events. So Directions for Enterprise, if you're familiar with Directions EMEA or Directions North America, which are really great community events for partners and deep dive learning with the Microsoft product team. Directions for Enterprise, this is actually the first event that Directions is hosting for D365 finance and operations. So it will be for partners with the Microsoft product team. It'll be out of Copenhagen, and we're excited to be one of the premier sponsors. Looking towards October, October will be a busy month, but we will be a sponsor at Summit North America, where we'll be connecting with users across the Dynamics platforms. We'll be at Workday Rising, and we have a customer who's presenting a session there. And then Procore Groundbreak, we just committed to that event, and it's really focused on the construction industry. And so Data Blend has some great solutions that where they've integrated Sage Intacct and other solutions with Procore. So if you have an opportunity with that system, feel free to send it over to your salesperson or your partner development manager, and we can get you connected with the right team member to discuss that. This isn't an exhausted list. We are a top sponsor at Directions EMEA too, and so that'll be a great conference. So Directions EMEA is on our list of conferences for the fall. We'll be a sponsor for Sage Future for partners, and then looking towards the end of the year, Microsoft and really put some heavy focus around the Convergence event last year. That was the inaugural event, and we're looking to sponsor Convergence in Miami this December too. So those are some of the conferences where you can connect with our team. We, as you know, we bring technical specialists to our conferences. We think that's really important so we can go deep on the scenarios you have. Now, looking at Summit North America, that's one of our biggest events of the year. We are looking to host some live training there. And we're going to take a strong focus on PopDoc. And so it's a one-day training that we'll be hosting on Sunday, October 11th. So if you're looking to attend Summit North America, likely you're already going to get there on Sunday because things really kick off that night, and the sessions and keynotes start Monday morning. So I would highly recommend considering this PopDoc training. what we're going to do is in the morning, we're going to focus on the core topics and kind of foundational topics that you should understand when you're working with the PopDoc platform in terms of connecting to your data, creating your lists, embedding data in other systems. And then in the afternoon, we're going to split out into 2 tracks. One is going to be focused on using PopDoc in your migration projects to both archive data and then access it in the new system and be able to access things like attachments. In the case of GP, access your smart lists in your new ERP, whether that's Business Central or F&O or another ERP. And then the other track we'll have in the afternoon is a very focused session around connecting your apps to AI. So whether that's your ERP, could be GP, could be Business Central. We saw some great examples and use cases today on connecting your apps to your ERP and CRM to your preferred AI. And that's what that session will be all about. There's details where you can get really granular on your security. Sometimes you don't want to expose as much data to your agent as you do to your users. And there's more workflows that span multiple systems. And so we'll get into that in the PopdockAI session. So send your consultants to that training. Send the people who are focused on AI within your customers who are thinking about how they tackle AI projects. It's going to be a great training opportunity, and that's right at the start of the summit conference. We are continuing to host boot camps, and so some of the boot camps that are on the schedule are our PopDoc boot camps, our Business Central integration boot camp. If you're getting into the Data Blend product, we do have partner enablement training, and we do have one-to-one partner training for PopdockAI. Our team is happy to spend some time with you as more of a personalized session. So keep that in mind. We can do that online. And then lastly, we wanted to feature some of the webinars we have coming up to dive deeper into the product. So you saw a preview of the new SmartConnect rebuilt. We're going to have a deep dive session on that later this month on June 24th. Towards the end of the month, we're going to cover how some of the tools we offer to help you migrate to Business Central and work with both your history as well as your data in Business Central and the reporting functionality. And then looking towards July and August, we have a couple sessions focused on introducing PopdockAI and then going into MCP technology. Peter touched on it, but behind the scenes, there is an MCP tooling functionality with PopdockAI. You can create a custom MCP without any code. And we're going to dive into that, just what an MCP is and walk through that. We've gotten a lot of questions about that. And then looking towards August, we've been partnering with Ramp, which is a great solution for expense and travel management. And so we'll be doing a co-webinar with Ramp and how you can integrate Ramp with Dynamics GP when we get towards August. So that's what we have for learning opportunities in the coming months. With that, I'm going to just open it up here. We've gotten a few questions here today, and I'm going to ask Martin to help me with some of the answers here. But one good question that came from one of our RSM team members was about the SmartConnect AI functionality. We saw in the video demo that Ethan did that you can manage and create integrations and look at your audit trail and work from an AI experience. So Martin, the question is, will that be available for SmartConnect, the on-premise version?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for the question. One of the key things, and I think Ethan mentioned it, is that the user interface for SmartConnect is going to be consolidated. So the SmartConnect online and SmartConnect on-prem will have the exact same user interface, which I think is well overdue, and it means there's no difference between the two. That means everything we're building will go into both. So the AI components and AI enablement will 100% be available for on-prem as well as online. And we still remain fully committed to our on-prem solution. We know there's a lot of customers that still use it on-prem. Our GP customers, it only makes sense that you use it on-prem. But we're also finding net new. There's companies that don't want to go online, don't want to expose their data, and really do want to run the on-prem where they've got full control. So we're fully committed to it. We're going to keep building, and part of this whole move was to make sure that all new functionality goes into both online and on-prem.
Great. There is another question in here about will we be offering upgrade paths for SmartConnect on-premise to the new version?
Yes. At the moment, the new version will be a migration. So you're going to move your maps into the new model. Over time, we will be building a migration path best we can to get people to be able to move simpler. Simply is not really a word. To make it as simple as possible to move. But for the very moment, we're offering our services to come in and help with that and get customers moved from one to the other. The benefits are very real. And having our expert team of consultants come in and do that is a really good way to do it right now. But over time, we'll be developing tools that make that move cleaner.
Awesome. One other question in here, just logistically, will this presentation be shared? And yes, this we'll be sharing the slides as well as the recording. So if there's anything you want to come back and review or share with a colleague, you can definitely do that. Awesome. Well, it looks like we've answered all the questions in there. Thank you so much for the interactive feedback here. And if you're looking to review any of these topics more in depth, feel free to email sales@eonesolutions.com or reach out to your partner development manager, and they will make sure that you're connected with the right people to go through those questions. So.
That's great. And as always, if you want to reach out to me and talk about any of these topics, particularly of interest is your AI strategy as a company and what you're going to take to your customers and where we can fit. I think there's a massive opportunity and a massive market. And most of your customers don't know where to turn. Do they go to a dedicated AI consulting firm? Do they talk to you? I think you as our partners are in a really good position to take advantage of that and your customer base and take them a product and deliver some really cool AI solutions to your customers. So we're really happy to talk about that with anyone. So reach out to me direct, martin.olson@eonesolutions.com, and I'm very happy to talk to you.
Hey, one more thing, one more good question that came in here. Is AI already available in PopDoc right now? PopdockAI is in early access, and if you have your internal use rights account set up for your PopDoc, it's not automatically enabled, so you'll need to request that. So reach out to your PDM, your partner development manager, or reach out to sales@eonesolutions.com, and we can work with you to get your team access to PopdockAI. Great question.
Good stuff. Thank you, Katie, and thank you to everybody for joining. Really appreciate you taking the time today.
All right. Thanks, everyone. You have a great rest of your day. And there's a couple more questions in the queue, but we're going to follow up with everyone directly on those. So you have a great rest of your day. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your partnership. And we'll talk to you soon.